I'm going to record this. All right, we're rolling. So, guys, thank you for joining me. Most of you have known me by now, Dr. Jason Pape, also Dr. Ketone. And you guys always see me with this in my hand. I'm always drinking something, and I always get questions. And some of you have already asked me, and I've come contact you offline. Some of you have even gotten some of the stuff we're using. So I wanted to kind of give everyone the opportunity to kind of learn a little bit more about it, whether they ask me about it or not, talk about it directly, give you guys some more information, answer any questions about it you may have, and how you can use it in your keto journey or otherwise. So I decided to bring with me my friends Brian and Sara, who've been working with me for the product for a long time. I'm trying to unmute you, Brian. It won't let me. There's a couple over there that just like, they should be on a magazine somewhere, these two. But they've been using the product a lot longer than even me. And in fact, Brian, probably one of the few people in the world who could probably been using it as long as he has. I mean, because he was, when the company that we work with first came out with this product, that was the first company to create it, and he was one of the first people to use it on a regular basis. So, but what better person to bring on here with me to chat about it would be my friends Brian and Sara, because they've been using it for a long time and they've gotten amazing results with them and a lot of friends and family. So, for those of you who don't know, what's in the shaker are therapeutic ketones. So basically exogenous ketones, where you can drink ketones and put your body in ketosis in less than an hour. So I like to use them because it can help support the keto lifestyle if that's what you're doing, or if you're not, don't want to give up carbs forever. It gives you the ability to get ketones in your body without having to give up carbs forever. So that's the big thing. That's what this stuff is here. I usually mix right in there. And it's that simple. You rip it and shake it and sip it, right? So, Brian, I don't know if you want to add a little bit to the basics of that.
Well, I'm Brian. This is my wife, Sara. When I first started, I didn't know her, actually. And I was approached by two of my buddies that said we can actually get into the state of ketosis through drinking it. Well, this is about 3 years ago. So I didn't know anything about ketones or anything. It's kind of like the first time you heard about it, you're like, what? So now that I looked into the diet was really hard. I didn't want to go through that type of diet to do it. I don't like diets. I don't mind doing lifestyle changes, definitely, if they're for the better. So I started off doing the diet first, waiting for the product to come. So the diet ended up being too hard for me to get to. I couldn't get over the cravings. I felt bad. I actually I guess I got the keto flu at one point and I gave up, and I just waited for the product to come. So, being a skeptic, I'm a huge skeptic. I got a blood meter and I also got the ketone test strips. So I mixed up the product. I tested the product. It came back negative. I tested myself, came back negative. Then I drank the product and it came back positive on the P strips and it came back positive on the blood strips. So that's where I was like, all right, this stuff actually legitimately works. And then kind of dove into more learning about it. But the way the product worked for me is it, instantly got rid of my cravings for carbs and sugars, which made it easier to follow a ketogenic lifestyle. And that was the thing that I had trouble with, was getting into that point. And along the way, it was about 2 weeks into drinking it, I did not know that drinking beta hydroxybutyrate would really reduce the inflammation in my body. So I've had 7 knee surgeries as a 3-sport college athlete, and it literally got rid of the inflammation in my left knee, which I didn't even know was possible. I thought it was because I dropped about 12, 15 pounds of fat, because that was happening. I guess it's a good side effect of being in ketosis is fat loss. I don't like to say weight loss because I don't want to lose weight. I just want to preserve my muscles and lose fat. So, going in at that, started losing the inflammation and wondering why it was doing that. So I actually met Sara. She's working on her doctorate at Logan Chiropractic in St. Louis at this time. And she was studying, what was it?
Oh, what was I studying? I was doing my capstone research on pain disorders and ketone utilization. So basically we were looking at neurological pain disorders and how ketones could help with that. So I was doing a lot of digging into all the biochemistry and physiology of producing ketones and utilizing ketones and the effects that they would have. And then he told me he was drinking ketones, and I thought he was just stupid because I was like, you're talking about raspberry ketones. Like, there's nothing that you can drink unless there wasn't clinical trials at the time, but not a product that like normal people could drink. And it was like $4,000 a serving just to produce it for a clinical trial. So yeah, that was our meeting in a truck stop parking lot.
Right. So I handed her a packet and told her to test her own ketone levels. Being, as educated as she was in this whole concept, so she took it, tested her levels, and realized it was positive. And then asked for more because she felt so good. She had kind of the first dose experience, we like to call it, to where obviously she didn't drop a bunch of weight that first day, but she just felt really, really, really good. She actually worked out, had an amazing workout in the gym. And my kind of experience was the same way. So when we started, we only had a version that was just ketones and MCT oil. So if you're familiar with coconut oil, 65% of coconut oil is the liquid form called MCT oil, which is a medium chain triglyceride, which either breaks down to ketones or you excrete it through going to the bathroom. Jason's probably done many videos on that too. But so it's something you either love or MCT oil or you don't like it. And you have to work your way up to building up to it. So we started with the orange version and then worked our learning how your body works with those oils using different things like digestive enzymes and more electrolytes, because you'll learn that as you go into doing the keto lifestyle and drinking ketones too. Those electrolytes are important. Since then, Jason held up that other packet. We have many different flavors. All of them are literally about the same. They're just different flavors. Our max versions are a little bit different than our OS versions in the different type of beta hydroxybutyrate. That's what makes our products literally the category king in the whole realm of ketones. So there's nothing else like what we have, and it's all patented. And we're the first ones that kind of came out with exogenous ketone. At the same time, we're leading the conversation with education and going at it like that. And Jason, when I met Jason, he same way, didn't believe it, so he had to try it himself, and he tested his levels and was like, whoa, wow, okay, because I've talked to many different people and they just do not believe that it's actually possible to get your body in that state without doing that crazy diet. Nobody likes that diet.
Right. And then what you found, you guys also since then have adapted that lifestyle because it's so much easier with the ketones on board, correct?
Correct. And that's one thing, like more education that I learned about it. And obviously, if I'm not craving carbs and sugars, why eat them? Once I learned that that's actually what makes me fat, and it's not fat that makes me fat. So I was like, oh my gosh, well, I'm not craving any of this food. I need to learn how to cook better. I need to learn how to live a lifestyle a little bit better. And from there, I do a lot of different things. I do intermittent fasting. I go back and forth from doing a straight keto diet to doing a more low carb diet. And what gives me the reason that I do low carb every once in a while is because I'm drinking ketones. So I drink it in the morning, and then I normally drink one in the evening before bed. Or now we have a good keto calm tea too that helps me sleep and keeps my body in ketosis while I sleep at a really deep level. And but besides that, the way, like, the lifestyle of the food is really amazing. When you cut out those fats, it makes stuff taste bad. So that's why they're adding carbs and sugars. So now when we put the good fats back in, it tastes really good. And a lot of you probably are eating that way, and you really learn that, don't convict the butter for what the bread did, because I love butter, and I loved bread. But once I learned how bad it was for me, I didn't want much to do with bread. You can
You're like
make
a
keto.
reverse Oprah. I love butter.
Right?
Instead of
And
I
I am
love
a lot
bread.
healthier than she is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Oprah.
Sorry, Oprah. So awesome. So what are some of the things that you guys have seen for a lot? Because you guys have been doing this longer than me. You've met so many people just like I have using the product. So what are some of the things you guys see out there where people are like, what's some of the big experiences that people have when they start using the product that you guys have noticed?
Wow. I'll let Sarah start on that, because that's one thing that really opened her eyes on getting started and even starting to share what she was drinking, because she didn't want to share it. She didn't want to feel like she was trying to sell people stuff. And I totally understand. But if something's working really well for you, would you share it? That's kind of what I asked her. And she's like, yeah, I'll share it. So she did. And, I mean,
So for me, it was like he's saying, I didn't want to be involved in any type of sales, or I didn't want to be affiliated with a specific product. I mean, obviously, like, I'm a girl and I like hair products and makeup and designer purses and stuff like that. So on my Facebook, my girlfriends would say, like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that bag? Or what lipstick are you wearing? What brand is it? And he was like, you're telling your girlfriends where to get the lipstick, how much it costs, like what store you got it from, what brand it is, what color it is, but you're using a product that you're not saying anything about at all because you're scared of being affiliated with it. You're affiliating yourself with Clinique and Victoria's Secret and Michael Kors and all this stuff. Why do you care if you're affiliated with this, if it's something that you think your friends would like? And so I was like, well, you're probably right. If someone wanted it, yeah, I would tell them where I got it, but I'm not going to just tell them to go get it. He was like, no, you don't do that. Just maybe write something about how you feel using it or why you're using it.
How did you feel?
I felt a whole lot better because I had really bad migraine headaches every single day, and I also had a really hard time focusing. So I was working a full-time job. I was teaching extracurricular, and I was working on my doctorate. So I was gone from my house for about 18 hours a day. I had headaches all day, every day. And I was burning it at both ends, had no energy. I was eating terribly. And so when I started using it, I just used it for the energy and to help me with my headaches, because I knew that my migraine headaches were neurogenic pain. And that was where my, focus of study was. So I thought, well, this will help me. And it did. So people did start to notice, like my friends at school would be like, you're not eating Starburst all day long anymore. You're in a better mood. You seem to have better energy. What are you doing differently? And I would say, I'm using this ketone supplement. My boyfriend can tell you about it. And I would just kind of send them on to him. But then when I got involved with doing it, because I knew a lot more about it than he did, because people would ask him questions and he was like, I feel better using it. But he didn't know a whole lot about the, helping with pain and inflammation and stuff like that. So whenever I started talking to people about it, I came from, my point of reference, which was all the things that I had researched and studied. So I had a girl that actually we still work together. She called me and said her sister was suffering from fibromyalgia and PTSD, and she just wanted to know, like, no medical claims, whatever. How can this help her? Just tell us how this can help her. I want her to try it, and she won't. So I talked to her for a little bit. She started using it. The girl calls me like a week later, just boo-hooing, crying, because she felt so much better. And she's like, for the first time in as many years as I can remember, like, I'm not saying that this made everything in my life better, but literally I feel like a normal human again. Like, she was someone who was scrubbing her skin off with Brillo pads because her PTSD was so bad. She was in and out of doctor's offices all day long, every day, trying to figure out how to help manage her pain. And she was just able to live like a normal person again. And so when she called me crying and saying that, it kind of struck a chord with me. Like, this is selfish for me to feel like, oh, I'm too good to be product affiliated. I'm not going to let anyone know that I'm associated with this product. I'm just going to use it for myself. But when I saw how it changed her life, my mind kind of switched on that. And I thought, if I had been too good to talk to this girl about what I was doing and what I was using and what I knew, she never would have had that life-changing experience. Like, I've only talked to 5 or 10 people about this. Imagine if I talked to a lot of people about this, how many people would have life-changing experiences. And it's awesome because for one person, a life-changing experience is they go from, not being able to manage their pain and not being able to manage a psychological disorder, and they have a life-changing experience in the fact that they get their lives back. But for some people, it's just they're mentally not present with their family or with their children because they're thinking about 1,000 different things and they're stressed out and they don't have the energy to cope with daily life. And then a life-changing experience for them is just giving them something that makes them a little bit more mentally focused and clear, gives them some more energy, and makes them feel better so that they can be more patient with their families, do more stuff with their kids, take 30 minutes to go to the park. Like, those are the little stories, though, that I live for now, because those big stories are great and they are quite frequent, but for the average person, they don't have something so horrible going on in their lives. They just want to have the capacity mentally and physically to be present with their families. And that's something that this product does for, 95% of the population.
Right. Then in a guy standpoint, what I see with most of my friends around, between 30 and 40, somewhere around there, it's a great way to preserve our muscle. So I don't look at it as a weight loss product, because I want to build muscle and burn fat. So when I can help get rid of inflammation and fat loss and preserve muscle and just feel like a rock star all the time while you're doing this and while you're eating a better lifestyle, it's just like a no-brainer once people start drinking it.
Right.
And if I literally went from about 250 to 220 and then been 220 for over 2.5 years now. And I haven't been hitting the gym. I'm not running. I'm not doing cardio. I'm eating a better lifestyle. And it's because I just don't crave food as much. I eat a lot less than I used to. So, and I don't crave soda. I don't crave energy drinks. So it just makes it a lot easier for me to live this lifestyle and maintain my weight. And, a lot of my friends, I've had a buddy that was a type 2 diabetic that it completely transformed his life. I had a buddy that was a ultra marathon runner, and it increased his times. He got more lean and felt better. Then I had a buddy that
time.
What?
Hopefully it decreases times.
Yes, it decreases time. Sorry.
He got much slower on ketones.
I meant increases performance.
I know. I'm messing with you, brother.
Yeah. But besides that, every person that's literally stuck to it for at least, I would say 30 to 90 days is going to see some amazing kind of life-changing results.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think it comes down to, again, if you give the body the fuel it's supposed to have, it functions at a level it's supposed to function at, right? Things go away when you go back to living the lifestyle we're supposed to be, which is ketone burner more than a glucose burner. That's awesome. So so a lot of people on my broadcast on the Zoom tonight do the keto lifestyle. So how do you feel like it's helped you guys in maintaining that? Do you feel like it's made it easier to do fasting? Have you found that I just tell people it makes it easier to do the diet, get into ketosis. There's no keto flu. You're accelerating your results. I mean, would you guys have anything to add on to that, or you kind of? How did I lose you there? Oh,
I'm here. Sorry.
I didn't know if you muted yourself, or I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I did. She was gonna go in and make some chicken. We found a cool chicken recipe.
Okay.
But so what was that question again?
I guess my question is, like, again, maybe I'm just stating it myself. It's just that I find that for those people doing the keto lifestyle, because a lot of people here do the keto lifestyle, it just makes it easier to do and maintain the diet, getting deeper into ketosis and accelerating and enhancing your results. That'd be a fair in your guys' mind as well?
Yeah, that was actually, I was not planning on doing the diet because I don't have a gallbladder and I really, really like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Starburst. So when I first started using it, I was like, I'm not doing this. We went on our first date and he pulled the bun off of his hamburger and I was like, oh geez, you're one of those. I know everything about ketosis literally, but I do not plan on getting there through diet. Not interested in taking the buns off my hamburger, not interested in giving up my cereal. And
that was her attitude before she drank it. Though.
Yeah.
Right.
So fast forward probably 2 weeks when I started drinking it. I didn't think, oh, I'm going to drink this and do this diet for a couple of weeks and see how it works. I was still like, I'm not doing this diet, but I'm going to drink this stuff. So I drank it, and then I didn't even realize that I was eating less, and I didn't realize that I was drinking the 64-ounce ices, Coke flavored ices. There was a gas station right by my school, and I would go there and get 2 to 3 of those a day. And instead of getting like coffee out of the coffee machine, I would go get the cappuccino that doesn't even have coffee in it. It was like hot water and sugar mix. So I would drink those, and then I was eating like a big, the kind that when trick-or-treaters come to your house, you give them Starburst out of this giant bag. That was the size bag of Starburst that I kept in my purse all the time. And Airheads. I ate tons of Airheads. We had at our bookstore at school, they had like all these shelves of Airheads, and I would just go grab some of each. And that was like what I ate. And then I thought I was being, I mean, I didn't think I was being super healthy, but my healthy treat was Fiber One bars. So, I mean, I was completely all carbs and basically no fat. I don't have a gallbladder, so eating high fat was difficult for me. And I was just like, I am not interested in trying to eat something that's going to give me diarrhea at school. Like, not going to happen. I'm not going to do this diet. I'm going to drink this stuff and that's it. My diet completely changed. Like, I started craving higher fat foods. I didn't have a taste at all for ices or cappuccinos or Starburst. When someone asked me, like, how much weight are you going to lose? And I was like, am I losing weight? Like, I was so not focused on changing anything. It just happened naturally, because when you have elevated ketones in your bloodstream, your glucose signaling, so your brain tells you what you want to eat. Like, your mouth doesn't tell you what to eat. Your brain tells you. And then whatever your brain is telling you want to eat, your mouth processes as tasting good. So if your brain is telling you to eat carbs, then carbs are going to taste good. So if you can get elevated blood ketone levels, then that part of your brain that tells you carbs taste good starts to not work as much. Like, it doesn't signal as much anymore. So you don't get those cravings for carbs and sugars. And when you do eat them, they don't taste as good. So you just naturally don't eat as many of them. So I started craving bacon and salads with ranch dressing. I had not eaten bacon in 10 years at this point. I was like, why in the world am I craving bacon? Like, I don't even eat bacon. And then ranch dressing, I never, ever, ever put dressing with fat on it on my salads. And so it used to make me nauseous to eat like creamy dressings, and I started craving creamy dressings. And so my diet just shifted without me noticing, and I ended up losing about 27 pounds of pure fat. Like, I got an 8-pack. It was awesome, but that wasn't my intent. That's just part of what happens within your body when you start giving it, like Jason, you were saying, the fuel source that it needs. Things just start working better. So, and the rebooting or fasting, because Jason, you said something about that. I've been using the ketone products, which we started off with Keto OS, and then we got Keto Max. So either one of those, I kind of tell people go by flavor, but using those makes it a lot easier to eat less and to control your appetite. So I've been using that and medium chain fats for the past however long we've had how long have we had cream out? About a year and a half, maybe?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Keto cream, probably since I joined. So a year and a half, 2 years almost.
So about a year and a half. Been using those products to help people do what's called a reboot. So it's basically like a fast, but you don't completely eliminate everything. You drink water and electrolytes and ketones and the keto cream to get some good healthy fats in. And when we were doing this before, you had to order a whole box of cream and a whole box of Max, and then you had to order your electrolytes from somewhere else and go get your enzymes, and you had to order all these different products through the reboot. Well, now Prove It actually just launched a reboot pack that comes with a lot more than just that. But it's like everything that you need for your whole 60 hours of not eating. Jason, I'm going to let you talk. Have you talked to them yet about the benefit?
No, actually, I was going to get to that in a minute. I was going to ask you guys what you thought was the best way to get started on the keto lifestyle and or with the product. And that kind of leads right into that reboot.
Right.
Yeah, I tell everyone to start with a reboot. For starters, we all want immediate results, okay? Like, go ahead and admit it. We all want a jump start on something. If we're going to give up something or start something new, we want to see a change. So most people are saying either I feel like crap all the time and I want energy, or I need to lose weight. That's the main two things that people say. Starting off with a reboot is going to help with both of those, and it's going to be like quick, fast, and easy. You get pretty dramatic results within that 60-hour window. And then also it makes you reevaluate your relationship with food. people don't realize that they're eating because they're stressed, they're eating because it's habit, they're eating because it's time to eat, they're eating because the bread's going to go bad, I better finish off this loaf, or whatever it is, I'm going to start eating good tomorrow, so I better eat all the junk food. Like, we have all these reasons to eat that are reasons other than my body actually needs this. So rebooting really makes you reevaluate your relationship with food. So it's a really good way to get started on any type of new dietary lifestyle in general. So I tell everyone to start out with a reboot and then do them once a month for maintenance.
Right. That's awesome. Because Sarah, you just hit like a bunch of stuff that I've just been talking about in my lives. It talked about, why do we eat? About looking for fuel, and those other things that come in that make us eat that really aren't why we should be eating. And then we talk about fasting. A lot of people do like to talk about fast, and it's really a great way to get your body into ketosis quickly and make that transition into the diet a lot easier as well. Mm-hmm. And these products and this actually reboot kit that I can tell you guys about really makes it a lot easier, right?
Yeah, and it does some awesome things like fights aging, repairs DNA, which I'm super excited about. The fact that there's this stuff called AC11, y'all. And they found out about this because there's this plant that grows along the Amazon River. It's a vine. And they noticed that this vine kept regenerating itself. And so a lot of times when we see plants that behave a certain way, we apply that towards human cells. Like, will this affect human cells? So when we look at aloe vera, it retains water really, really well. So people thought, well, heck, let's see if this will affect human cells the same way. Let's see if we can use this on humans and we'll retain water. So we started using aloe vera on our skin. It helps your skin retain fluid. We drink aloe vera juice. It helps you stay hydrated. So same thing with this vine. They were like, it keeps regenerating itself. I wonder if it could have any regenerative effects in humans. So they started using it on burn victims and people who had sunburns, because usually skin is kind of where they start. Like, is this safe to put on your skin? Now let's try eating it and see if it's safe. So they started using it on people's skin, and it was actually reversing the damage process, like hardcore repairing the DNA of damaged skin. And then what they started to notice is it wasn't just repairing their skin, it was being absorbed into their bloodstreams, and it was repairing other cells in their bodies. So then they started doing tons and tons of research on this. It's very well documented. You can Google it. It's all over the place. Like, it's a highly researched compound, and it's called AC11. And every product in this reboot kit, except for the Keto Max that's in there, has AC11 in it. So you're going to be getting tons of cellular repair. Stop it, Kobe. Dog is driving me nuts. But you're going to get tons of anti-aging DNA repair on top of giving your GI system a break, on top of detoxing your cells, on top of getting control of your relationship with food. You're going to lose a lot of inflammation and probably some fat too while you're doing this, because you're in a calorie deficit and you're going to be burning stored body fat and preserving muscle. You're going to AC11 is also a very strong inflammatory suppressant. So you're going to notice that if you're someone who suffers from any type of inflammation, which I had a lot of inflammation, and being in ketosis helps with that too. But even just me going from being in ketosis for 2 years to implementing in the use of AC11, like, I saw a huge transition in myself. So I'm really, really excited about the products that are in this reboot pack. We just found out about this weekend, and it just released 2 days ago. So you go over the PDF. There's like a PDF, and it tells you exactly what's in there.
Well, I'm going to let Rob DeVore do that too on the next one.
Oh.
But yeah.
We're going to call with him. Okay.
Go ahead, Jason.
Oh, no. I was just saying, so just, we've talked about fasting and how we can do it. Sometimes people are like, well, should I have this with the fast? Should I not have this with the fast? So the nice thing about this fasting kit that basically Pruitt put together is going to give you the ketone drink, both through the stuff like you always see me drinking, plus a ketone tea that you guys have seen me have on there, a collagen bone broth that will help with electrolytes, right? As well as the AC11 and some other things in the special pill they have to help lower insulin resistance. And that's
AC11
right?
is in the broth and the tea too.
Right. So the AC11 is in a lot of the products. So you have a lot of these things going on to help your body kind of regenerate while you kind of kick your body into ketosis, and you help it get there. Because remember, as you starve the body of sugar, sometimes that's when that keto flu happens, right? So it's looking for fuel, and while your body's taking that transition from glucose to ketones, and you sometimes feel like crap. So if you give the body ketones while it's doing it, it doesn't stop your body getting in there on its own. It just enhances it. It doesn't prevent any of your own fat loss. It just actually accelerates the process and makes the transition easier. So that's a pretty cool little kit that they're doing. And then the company, Pruvit's the company, I don't know if we mentioned that earlier, they just started a 20% off sale on all their product line except for the Reboot kit from now through the end of the year. So it's always a good time to get started.
It is discounted, though, from what it's going to be in the future.
Oh, yeah, it's cheaper than it will be, but it's not, there's 80%, the 20% off is not affecting that directly. But what is it, $79 for the Reboot kit?
$79 for the Reboot kit. And then the cool thing is we started on like a Sunday night. That's when we normally start at 8 p.m. So literally when you wake up the next morning, you already won about 10 or 11 hours.
Right.
So it's kind of cool.
You're a third of the way
Instead of starting in the morning, we start at night. Right. And it's got like a whole day layout. It's really cool how this is all laid out now.
Right. It sets it up for you. And then there's actually going to be if everyone wants to do it together on February 11th, they're going to do like this whole company-wide, everyone kind of start together. You don't have to, but there will also be a Facebook group that you can be part of that kind of coaches everyone through it and stuff like that, right?
Right. Yeah. That's where I bought mine. So I would be a part of that group. I want to be a part of that group.
Right, I got some too. And even though I don't usually do big fasts like that, but I'm going to do it with everyone else. I want to experience it for myself.
I do them every once in a while. Like me and my wife, we finally took a honeymoon and we went on a cruise. So it was really hard to stick eating keto lifestyle on a cruise with it was just hard. So when I got off the cruise, I did about a 60-hour fast and I felt amazing. Literally 2 days into it. First day was a struggle. I didn't have all the stuff for it, so it was a little bit of a struggle, but after the first 24 hours I wasn't having cravings, got back into it. 3 days into it now, today I've had a handful of nuts, some MCT oil. I'm about to have some chicken and vegetables covered in olive oil, and then a keto calm tea before bed. So that's like my day, and I'm 225 pounds, 6'6", so I don't eat as much as everybody would think I eat.
Right. So Brian, if you were going to start today, let's say you were new to the whole keto lifestyle, keto product, what would be the way you would start?
Well, I would start by starting to eat cleaner, because the easiest, the hardest thing to do is like literally eat honey buns or gooey butter cake and go right into starving yourself, I guess you'd say, for 60 hours. So if everybody on here is already eating quite clean, the 60-hour reboot wouldn't be a very hard process. And I mean, knowing what I know now, it's different than saying when I first started, because, when I first started, I kind of said, yeah, jump in. I want to get at least a 90 days worth. So I did start with 90 days worth and get started that way. And, I just started drinking ketones once a day. I started Googling ketones. I wanted to learn all I could learn about ketones. And by our company having pure therapeutic ketones, that there's nothing else like the ones that we provide, it's pretty exciting. So, I haven't went a day without it since May 20th, 2015. I've been drinking it every single day, and some days 2 times, some days 3 times. And like Sarah said, whenever I want to feel better, I drink them. Sometimes I'll get cravings for food and I don't want to eat, so I'll drink some ketones, and it literally gets rid of my cravings for food too.
Right. So giving the body a fuel. So, that's awesome. So, I mean, I've been telling people now with this reboot, if you want to get kick-started, I think a 60-hour reboot, if you're up for it, is a great start, and then move into the diet with, straight up using Keto Max once a day. That's kind of what I'm going to be moving more people to in my office. So
that's what I would suggest. The same thing is right after the reboot, like why, don't keep your body into ketosis. So I would continue to at least drink it once a day, at least, maybe mix it half a pack in the morning and the other half later on. Me personally, I do a whole pack once in the morning and a whole pack later on. But you want to keep that going. I mean, it's super beneficial to keep your body in that state of ketosis. And learning from all the doctors and like Dr. Pape, I mean, our bodies were made to be in a ketogenic state. So at least 70 to 80% of the time, we should be in a state of ketosis. It's, the sad diet, and along with how there's a Dunkin' Donuts everywhere you go, or just carbs and carbs and carbs everywhere you go, that's just not good for us.
Right.
So
awesome. So, Brian, you mind if I open up for some questions? If anyone has any questions?
no, go ahead. And also, we're having a call with our CEO and our #1 reboot coach, Coach Rob DeVore. He's a two-sport professional athlete. He's a really cool guy. And they're doing a call at 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. Over what I see is 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Hear more from our CEO and Coach Rob DeVore. So they're going to go over the reboot a little bit more in detail and about what's going on company-wise. And, you know, if everybody on here's done low carb or looking to get their body into ketosis, this reboot is literally the best way to do it. And, you know, you're hearing it from not just an athlete like me, but you can hear it from doctors and scientists. I'm always learning.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, so guys, if you want that link, I thought you meant the phone call at 9:15. But if you guys want that link about the reboot, let me know. I can send that over to y'all, guys. Just do me a favor, Facebook message me, and I'll send you that link if you guys want to check out after.
Oh no, they're doing a Facebook Live at 9 o'clock Central Time. Sorry.
Right. 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central is that Facebook Live about the keto reboot, and then there's a company-wide call that I think is at 9:15 Eastern.
Yep. Right. With Dr. Andy. Oh,
with
cool.
Another doctor we work with, a naturopath that has been working with the company for a while, that will give some other good tips and advice and explain some more of the stuff about ketones and ketosis. But I'm gonna unmute you guys, and if you don't want to say anything, you can just mute yourself back out. But let me know questions, please, guys. We really appreciate you taking your time on the call, and hopefully you learned a little something more about why I talk about this stuff all the time, because I think it's awesome. Yeah. There you go. Lots of noise now. Not all at once. What kind of conference?
I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, what's up, Pat?
Well, my question is, is somebody else talking?
There's some background, but I can tell you what. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to do this. I'm going to mute everybody and then unmute you. Unmute Brian. All right, go ahead.
So I'm unmuted here. My question is, I've been in keto for a little over a month now, feeling great. What's the benefit for me to having the exogenous ketones as opposed to just doing what I'm doing?
Okay.
So, I mean, I'll answer it from a non-doctor perspective, but for me, I might mess up on too much protein. I might mess up on a carb or two more, and it'll kick me out of ketosis. And I don't want to go through that whole part where I'm breaking down my muscle to get back into ketosis. And that's where a lot of people won't want to do the diet, because most times you break down muscle getting into it. And, you know, not having as much energy, not having as much focus and clarity. Those are two other things that I really enjoy, I want more of, so that's why I drink it to do it. So, I mean, it's, you know, you can make ketones without drinking them, or you can drink them and make your own ketones. And that's what I tell everybody to do. And, you know, one thing too, I don't do a straight ketogenic diet for more than 30 days. I go off and on here and there. It's not like I go back to eating tons of carbs. I just don't eat 80% fat then. I just do a little bit more protein, a little bit more greens. So I like to eat a lot of salads. So I eat way too many greens and vegetables than what's on a ketogenic diet. So that's where I drink in exogenous ketones to keep me in ketosis.
Right. And I think it also can get you deeper into ketosis. So
very deeper into ketosis.
When you're doing on your own, some people 1.5 millimoles if they're lucky. Maybe on a fast you'll get lower than that, but you can, just with the ketones alone without even giving up carbs, get yourself in that 2.3 millimole range. And the more ketones, the deeper you are, the bigger effect it can have on your body. So I just think it's like, if I could have some of my own, but a lot more by using a product, and that's still within a healthy range, I'll just accelerate my benefit. Because a lot of us are doing this because we not only want to, we want to feel better, but a lot of people are doing this because they want to kind of take off X amount of pounds and just really get healthier quicker. So my thing is, if I can just make it an easier journey to stay on, and as well as get there a little quicker, that's another reason why I would maybe add it in, Pape. You know, of course, listen, if you're doing great on the diet on your own, you don't necessarily have to do anything.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
And another thing too, Pat, like,
Wait, hold on, Jamie.
it's one, you just gotta
I just
kind
saw
of try
Jamie
it
trying to
too,
talk.
because okay.
Go ahead, Bryce. Say your thing, then I'll have Jamie jump in.
Okay.
Once you start with the ketones, do you have to continue drinking them daily, or is it an off and on kind of thing?
That's a good question. I look at it like using a multivitamin. If you want the benefits that's in a multivitamin, then you'll take the multivitamin. If you don't, then don't take it. So you're not going to get the benefits of ketones unless you're drinking them. If you're like Pat's doing, she's creating her own ketones, and if she stays in ketosis and does everything down to the micronutrients that she needs, then she will be in ketosis. But if she wants to have more energy, better focus, more clarity, maybe sleep better, maybe help reduce her stress, maybe just have more oxygen to her cells while she's going out walking, or anything that she's doing, she's going to want to add in more ketones. So I have some people that do it every once in a while, but their goal is just to feel better every once in a while. Their goal isn't to feel better every day. And then I also have people that ask that question that only want to use it every once in a while, but then they get to a point where they feel so good that they want to use it every day. So I would say experiment with yourself and see how you feel when you're not drinking it, to see how you feel when you are drinking it, and see how that works for you. And if you can juggle that and be okay, then try it out.
And I think also, again, if you're doing like Pat was saying, you're getting into ketosis pretty easily on your own through the lifestyle. It may be something you just add in occasionally, like, hey, I'm going to use this when I want to have a bad day at a birthday party, or I'm going to, I know that today my fats weren't high enough. I don't want to shove in a wheel of cheese to make sure I hit all my fats for the day, so I'm going to drink this, and I don't have to worry that I was a little off on my macros. So you can use it as you need, but if you're doing the lifestyle and you're having trouble getting into ketosis, it'd be something I would use more frequently. Does that help, Jamie?
Yes, I just didn't want to overdo it or underdo it, or.
Yeah, you're not going to overdo. I mean, you literally can't hurt yourself with this stuff unless, what do you have to drink, Brian? Like 200 packets and not pee or poop?
One of our formulators said you can't drink more than 278 packets in an hour without pooping, peeing, or throwing up. And he said you still might be okay, but that would be awfully expensive and hard to do.
Right. So if you did that, then you might.
I personally.
I better be thirsty.
Right. Very, very thirsty. Might have to go to the bathroom. I've drank up to 10 in one day before. I've drank 2 or 3 one time at one point just to see what it felt like, and it felt pretty euphoric. I felt really good. So I've tested my blood levels, and before doing a fast, I was at, I think it was 5.1 or something. So, I just won't go a day without it personally. Did I freeze up?
I don't think so. I got you.
So I don't know. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right,
now
good.
But,
we have a lot of doctors that come in and they give this to their patients. And the one thing that they love about it most is this can help them stay more compliant and keep them on that, low carb or ketogenic lifestyle that they're trying to live, and not mess up by Thursday and then come in on Monday and no results,
right.
Just going through not feeling good,
So I have some of you guys listed just as phone numbers. So whoever's calling me from the 386 area code, you had a question before and then we didn't come back to you. Are you still there? I don't know. I have her unmuted. I just didn't know. I know she was starting to talk and then we lost her. Maybe it was just you, Pat. I guess I thought it was our 386 friend. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Let me know. Well, unmute yourself or
everybody's muted.
Yeah, I know. I just figured if I'll mute y'all again and then.
Okay,
There you go. You're all unmuted. There's a lot of background noise. Anyone want to ask any questions? You can even wave if you want there to the picture.
I can hear somebody.
I'm
I
not
think
sure
they're
if I'm
different.
doing this right. This is Christine. I'm on here.
So tell you what, hold on one sec, Christine. I'm going to mute everybody and then put you back on.
That's okay.
All right, hold on. Mute Brian and unmute you. All right, cool. You there, Christine?
Yes, I am. How y'all doing?
We're good. We're good.
Good.
What's your question?
Well, of course, I started with you probably maybe 3 weeks or so ago, and I have not actually started taking the ketones because, again, I'm waiting to text time to do that. But I have been doing the enzymes. I've been following. Yeah, I've been following it, and I have lost some weight, but I do know that I want to, start taking the ketones, and I will. I just want to know this: how do they taste? I do not drink any type of cold drinks or anything like that. I haven't done that for like 6 or 7 years. Of course, I do love coffee, but I haven't went to Starbucks in probably a month, which I really am not missing it. So, drink tea, but I am a taste person. I just need to know, is this going to taste? How is it really going to taste?
I think they all taste awesome, Brian.
Okay.
I mean, there's different flavors. We can go over the different flavors with you. But
right, we have a lot of different flavors, and you can change the taste of them any way you want. If you're not a fruity person, we have chocolate.
I'm a fruity person.
We also,
fruity person. Okay.
So if you're a fruity person, we have a Hawaiian punch one that's delicious. We have a raspberry lemonade, which is really good.
That would be it.
And actually, right now we have one that's on sale today and tomorrow only. That's called Splash. That's a watermelon grapefruit type of taste, to where it almost tastes like a mojito in a way. I don't know how it does, but it does.
Yeah, it's light and refreshing. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just it's got a nice, soft, but really tasty flavor.
Okay.
And I don't like grapefruit, and I like that.
And one thing too, and I tell some people, if you want it more fruity, use less water. If you want it less fruity, use more water. So, I can drink it in 6 ounces, and I can also drink it in 22 ounces. So I like it.
Because I plan on staying with this because, one, I need to be healthier. I've gotten so totally off track, and so I don't want to be. And my husband doesn't actually know that he's doing it with me. By the way, I'm cooking, but he is. That's awesome. Another thing, in November, October, we're going on a cruise, so I want to be ready for that.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm working on it and working out, get back to doing marathons and stuff like I used to do, and so I'm totally. And
you'll have a very different run experience in your marathon than you would ever be in a car burner. And then there's, just so you know, there's also the cacao flavor, which tastes like hot chocolate. And some people actually put that in their coffee, and they love it.
Okay.
Pat,
and I have been using.
Before Pat answer your question,
I just wanted to ask, just quickly. She was asking about the flavors. I just kind of want to know how sweet they are.
Here's a question: is stevia sweet to you?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about real sweet stuff.
Okay, so stevia, because there's stevia and erythritol. Every now and then you get someone that says, "Oh, that's really sweet." So I would either say add more water, or stick to things like the Splash or the Swiss cacao. I think you'll notice a little bit. Actually, I gotta tell you, the raspberry lemonade, you don't notice that because it has a little bit of a tartness that cuts it. Sometimes the Maori punch may not be the flavor for you then, because it can, to some people, be a little sweet, right?
Thanks.
So and then also the marathon running part, which is really cool. We have some studies coming out with using our products from Jeff Bullock at the Ohio State University. That's going to come out in the future, and he literally trains Olympic runners. So like the top 2 Tour de France winners were fat adapted athletes. So now they're actually drinking ketones and using fat for fuel.
Okay.
So it's really incredible what it does for long distance.
You said there was going to be a deal on until the end of this year for ordering the ketones, or what is it?
Wait, in a month. And in a month, there's a special on all the products for 20% off, except for the Reboot. The Reboot is already a discounted price than what it's going to be. It's a when its full price comes out. So all the ketone products, the Keto Max, the regular Keto OS, the Keto Cream, they're all 20% off right now. And then the Keto Reboot Pack we mentioned, it's $79, and that helps that 60-hour, and that's going to go up probably in a few weeks, right?
So end of January, end of February.
And in January. So they just run a special that closes out the month.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow night at midnight Central.
Okay. All right.
You
I
know,
wanted to know.
that's
Okay.
one thing. When I first learned about, how good this was, I asked how to get it for free. So we do have a customer referral program. If you like what you're drinking and you want to share it with a couple people, they will give you what is called Prove It Bucks as a customer. And then that will cover your smart ship or auto ship or whatever you want to call it, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So, but I don't tell anybody to try to share anything unless they like it themselves, So if Pat's like, this is too sweet, I don't want nothing to do with it, I don't want her to start sharing it until she finds a way to drink it.
So you can send a link to me for that or something?
Yeah, so guys,
so sometimes it is.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah.
No,
I just say if it's too sweet, add more water.
You go. I can send you a link.
Okay.
Just message me directly.
Okay.
I'll get you after this. And if you guys want, it's really pretty simple. It's Dr Ketone, drketone.com. If you want to jump on that link. If anyone's like, you know what, I'd like to try it first, let me know. We do some 5-day trials. We call it a 5-day flavor experience where you can just buy a few packets and try them out for a few days before you buy it. That would go. You'd let me know about that, and we do it directly through me. But if you did that, you'd miss the sale. That's all I would. Doesn't mean you can't do that. I'm just saying 20% off is only gonna be for another 24 hours or so.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helps, but
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dr. Ketone, and I'll send you the link.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. Anyone else have any questions? Wow, crickets. Oh,
No.
you got a question, Anita? Hold on. We got Anita on there. Anita, you got a question?
When's the best time to check ketones?
Go ahead, Brian.
In our company, we say, get you in a level of ketosis in less than an hour, but literally results are showing 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. So I would say for most people, check it before you use it and see what you're at. Even if you're doing a urine strip, those are a great way to just see if you're in ketosis, and then check it afterwards and see how it's going. Anywhere between, I tell people now from hearing that data, I tell them 20 minutes to an hour. Check it in between there. So the one thing we do want to use, because those ketone strips are very deceiving, they show that you're in ketosis, but if you're in ketosis for a long time, and you might not show on that strip because you're utilizing those ketones as a cellular fuel source. So I always tell people, if you want a true reading of how you're feeling and what level or what state you are in, what level of blood ketone you have, get a blood meter and try it. It's just a little prick on your finger, and you try it out, and it tells you what state, like what level your range is. Like Jason was saying, it can get up to 2.0 off of just drinking ketones. Right. So, and I've done personal videos where I would test before, and it'd be like 0.4. I would drink my ketones, and I'd be at like 2.4. So, people are like, well, how did you do that? That knew what was going on. So I was like, well,
I have a question. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, finish.
Oh, okay. Good.
Well, I went because, like I said, I'm trying to get everything in order together, and I went to look for that the blood meter.
Yeah.
I went to Walgreens, Walmart, all those places. I'm not sure if you can get them there, but they didn't have them, so I didn't know. No. Where do I get that?
So we're ahead of the curve. The one I found was on Amazon. Did you find one, Jason?
Amazon.
Yeah, you know what? Keto Mojo is the one we've been using more lately. Keto-mojo.com. Okay. And Mandy, our friend Mandy, actually got a discount. So if you use the code Mandy10, you can get 10% off. And I think that even comes with strips. So Precision Extra is another one you can order online. The meter's not too expensive. They can run about 30 or 40 bucks.
Okay.
It's the strips that get expensive. So sometimes it's about getting them in bulk so you get them cheaper. But Anita, too, when it comes to what time of day to test, I mean, when you're taking the product, if you want to know how you're doing, obviously you take it in that first hour. But I always tell everyone, just if you want to see what you're doing, take your blood or check whatever you're checking a few different times a day to kind of see what your body's doing. You can also assess how your food is too at that point. You know, I took my product in the morning, I ate my food, and then by the afternoon, I'm nowhere near ketosis. Well, that tells me that your food may not be putting you in ketosis enough. You know, try different times a day. Try first in the morning, try at night, you know, try after a couple hours after the meal, see what your body's doing, kind of see also how your food's doing. So
when I wake up in the morning, I am not, but during the day, I'm at like the top 2 end colors on the urine strip.
yeah. And remember,
like the purpley colors.
Right. And you're good to go watch my videos a million times. So go watch my measuring video if you haven't. We talk about screening the ketones versus utilizing the ketones, right? So we want that color not to stay dark for a very long time on the strip, because that means we're not utilizing them as much. So, you know, I like to do a combination. If you really want to know what your body's doing, take blood and urine, or blood and breath. Okay. So you can see how well you're utilizing them. Because you could have a good blood number and then you have a high P number. It means you're not using them, right? So in the beginning, the keto strips are effective because your body's not efficiently using ketones yet, but it shouldn't stay like that for that long. So that's why I'm saying, who knows if you're in ketosis in the morning, you may be utilizing them. Okay. The blood meter would be a better way. And if that's the case, you may need to do a little bit more fat at night, or a ketone drink at night to keep your body in ketosis all night long. So you continue to burn fat while you're sleeping.
I'm going to say one more thing, and I'm sorry. I'm going to have to kind of break away a little bit because I got to get ready for the live that you're going to be doing. So I got my other stuff I got to do before then. Okay. But I thank you guys. And if you can remember, just send me those links. I'll send you a reminder. And I really appreciate you. You don't know that I have always been a go-getter, and I throw myself into stuff, and you know, and you've just kind of sparked that, you know, back again.
Glad to help.
So I really needed it, and so you tomorrow can't be your last day. That's all I want to say.
No, it's not my last day. It's my last day every day in a row.
I know. Well, that's okay. I know you're gonna still be good, Pastor Keto.
Christine, your last name's Wicks?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Let me just make sure I got you the right link. Okay, I'll send it over to you right now.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you in a minute.
Honey.
All right.
Anyone else have any questions before I let Brian go?
I'm gonna see if I can get off here first.
That's all right. Anyone else have questions?
How to.
No more. I want a link. Brian, you have any last?
No, it's been a pleasure talking to everybody. And yeah, anybody has any questions? I'm 100% positive Dr. Pape. He's taught me so much. He can answer those questions too. And I'm looking forward to jumping on here and talking some more and just seeing people's results or how they felt drinking it, or, you know, going from that. So if you can tune in to one of our Prove It calls, so maybe you'll understand a little bit about our community, because our community is based around education, and that's literally what the ketosis ketogenic lifestyle is about, is all of us working together to help educate each other on how to feel better. Right. So that's what we're here for. Dr. Pape, truly appreciate everything you're doing and educating all of us all the time in these lives. It's pretty remarkable stuff that you know, and I'm, you know, thankful that I do know you. So
thanks.
Yeah. And thank you everybody for coming on here. I'm going to go help my wife cook dinner. So, all right.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you soon.
Guys, thank you so much again. I hope we answered all your questions and you got a little more information. You've got the inside scoop now on what's in the cup. So won't spoil it when we're on live. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or message me. You guys know I'm pretty accessible. So I appreciate you guys all coming on. And I'll see you guys about 25 minutes. And we'll bring my special guest, Donna Fred, on tonight. It should be really exciting. So love you guys. And I'll see you in a little bit.